Spoiler warning for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Hey guys, Octels here, and welcome to the very first Fire Emblem Thoughts. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Jeritza, the mysterious professor who dips after the third chapter because, he's just like, oh, I'm the Death Knight, I must go now. Anyways, let's take a look at his backstory first. So, he was born in a house Bartels with a minor crest of Lamine. You might have just heard my cat meow in the background, and that might happen multiple times throughout this video, but that's just how it be sometimes. But he was born under the name Emil von Bartels. He and his older half-sister, Mercedes, and their mother suffered mistreatment from Baron Bartels. So, basically, Baron Bartels was like, hey, you guys, you got crest? Okay, well, you're more of an object than a human for me now, because obviously the people in Fodlan like using crest more as a status than treating people with crest like they're an actual human being. So Mercedes and her mother were like, alright, this is bullshit, I'm not dealing with this, we gotta dip, we gotta go. And they went up to Emil and were like, hey, we're leaving. Do you want to come with us? And Emil was like, no, I must stay behind. However, Mercedes did not know that they chose to left Emil behind. Mercedes just thought that, okay, we left Emil behind, and feels really, really bad about it. So then Emil worked within House Bartels to ensure the safety of Mercedes and his mother. So one day he heard the Baron saying, I found my mother. Well, not my mother. Oh my god. I found Mercedes and her mother. They're hiding out in a church, and I want to go bring them back. And Jeritza was like, the hell you think? I'm not letting you do that. And Jeritza basically went off on him, and he killed him. He basically blacked out throughout the entire thing, doesn't remember anything of it, and was like, well, they're dead now. And so that was his first experience with his Death Knight persona. And so basically, Jeritza struggles a lot between his Jeritza self and his Death Knight self. Often, they're in a war, and he'll refer to the Death Knight as if it's a separate entity than Jeritza, even though technically they're the same person. But anyways, he offed the Baron, and then he was just traveling around Fodlan, murderous intent, he was just going insane. I imagine he was probably killing a lot of villagers, just overall being a general nuisance, and Edelgard found him, and was like, hey, you need to come with me to the Adrestian Empire, I can use you. And Jeritza was like, okay. So, she took him, she planted him into House Hyrm, where his name was changed from Emil to Jeritza von Hyrm, and he gained a little status from that. And she gave him these extra sick-looking hunting grounds, so he could just go around and killing random people to satiate his bloodthirst, because, that's totally normal, and that's such a great approach to this. So from there onward, Jeritza pledged himself to Edelgard's cause. He was like, listen, whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm here for the Adrestian Empire. You let me kill people, I'm hella down with that. Thank you. So you can see Jeritza has a bit of a mental issue where he kind of relies on killing people to keep himself going. Also, that was my cat again. Don't know if he can hear it. And so obviously his condition and living with the Death Knight is really, really difficult for him. He acts really cold and uninterested in the world around him. Byleth will seriously go up and talk to him, and he's like, hey, Jeritza, what's good? And Jeritza's like, don't talk to me. I'm eating ice cream right now. Don't go away. Don't talk to me. And Byleth is like, damn, okay, bye. And the only way Byleth can really get Jeritza to open up is when Byleth is like, hey, how about you, me, we go and we do some training together. And then Jeritza's like, hell yeah, that sounds pretty great. So there's that. And then basically, what else? Oh yeah, and the romance with Byleth that Jeritza achieves is actually really, really interesting. So obviously it starts out like, oh, go away, I don't like you, please leave me alone. And then over time, Jeritza starts opening up to Byleth, saying, oh, I think that you're gonna be the only one to kill me. You are the only one who can kill me. I believe in this. And it starts off in like, oh, you kill me by ending my life. But I think by the end of their as support, it's more of a, you can kill the Death Knight inside of me. You can save me. That's what it sounds like to me. Obviously, it could just be taken as, oh, you can kill me. But I like the evolution, the progression of, oh, you're killing me too. Oh, I think you have the ability to kill the Death Knight inside of me, which is super, super cool. And their S-rank portrait is in Shambhala, which is where all the evil guys live when they're trying to help out Nemesis and stuff. And it's them fighting together, and I think that's really cool because it shows how Jeritza is really only able to open up when he's mid-battle. It's not at the monastery. Why? Because Jeritza isn't a wholesome, fluffy character. He's scarred. He's not normal anymore. He's ruined, and it's sad. So I think the location of Shambhala is really, really fitting, not the Goddess Tower or whatever. And then, so basically how Jeritza gets his job at the monastery is Lord Arundel, that sneaky, sneaky snake of a man, is like, hell, you guys should employ Jeritza. Which is obviously the plan because, you know, they probably figured that Jeritza wouldn't be able to last long at the monastery anyways without going to kill someone. So they probably just used him there to plan out the whole thing with capturing Flame. Because Jeritza did do that. There goes my cat again. Love that. They use Jeritza to go capture Flame, because Jeritza's not going to last long at the monastery anyways. You can only get Jeritza in the Crimson Flower route, or whatever it's called. I think it's Crimson Flower. And it is just, it sucks because Crimson Flower to me is so half-baked and boring, and I can't stand it, dude. That crap takes, it's crazy how they advertised Crimson Flower and then it just barely has any content to me. It's kind of sad. But anyways, Jeritza is only available in that, which makes sense because I don't think, even though Mercedes is in Blue Lions, it wouldn't make any sense for Jeritza to be in the Blue Lions route because Jeritza is really just has one alliance, and the alliance is the Adrestian Empire. Like, that's the only thing he cares about. That and his sister. He has supports with his sister, which is where she goes up to him and she's like, Emil, how are you doing? And he's like, I am mentally sick. And she's like, oh my god. And then in their B support, he literally attempts to kill her because he is having a mood swing and he is not well. And that is insane. I would freak out. And she's like, oh, kill me if you must. Like, dude, why would you say that? I wouldn't trust this man with my life. Like, yeah, I only trust this guy as far as I can throw him. I would not say, Jeritza, you have my permission to kill me. Because honestly, I think Jeritza would just strike you down then and there. Obviously, Jeritza doesn't because Mercedes doesn't die. But still, oh my god. I think it was incredibly ballsy of her to say that. And then by their A support, Jeritza is about to run away from home, and then he reveals that he chose to stay behind with Baron Bartels, and she was like, oh my god, I never knew that. You did that all for me. Now that I've learned this, can you just stay here with me, please? Please, Jeritza? And Jeritza's like, okay, I guess I'll stay with you. So, yeah, that is my opinion on Jeritza. I honestly really like him. He's so cool. And now moving on to his character design. So his hair, I think, is really symbolic as him as a person. So his hair is pulled back, which symbolizes him pulling back his Death Knight alter ego. Because his hair, like, it's long, it's wild, it's untamed. But I think it also just really reflects him as the Death Knight. Because his hair is pulled back, just like him trying to pull back his Death Knight ego. Obviously, he can let it loose if he chooses, or maybe if the wind blows, his hair might come out. And, you know, it's the end right there. And he wears the mask when you first meet him at the monastery. And it obviously has the red, the white. You can see his correlation to the Adrestian Empire. Personally, when I saw him, I first thought he was the Flame Emperor. I didn't think he would be the Death Knight. honestly, but he's actually the Death Knight. But the red around his eyes and his mask really distracts from the blue of his eyes, making it hard to tell the relation between him and Mercedes. Like with Sedith Flame, that is really easy to see the relationship between them because their hair and eye colors are so similar. While Jeritza and Mercedes, while their hair and eye colors are the same, it's really hard to tell because the mask actually makes Jeritza's eyes look red or gray instead of the blue. So I think that is super cool. And then afterwards, he removes his mask when he goes to the monastery, whether or not Mercedes is there. And I think he removes the mask because honestly at this point, it doesn't matter if anyone finds out he's the Death Knight or his correlation to the Adrestian Empire. Because war has already started. He doesn't care. He's already killed hella people. Like, it doesn't matter for him. Anyways, my final thoughts on Jeritza is that honestly, I think he's hot, character design wise. He looks so clean and sleek. Like, he looks put together, which is opposite him as a person because he's not put together. He's a whole ass mess. And it was funny, I came up to him to try to talk to him when I first bought the game. And when he completely brushed me off, I got hella sad. Like, I go up to him and I'm like, hey, Jeritza, how you doing? And he's like, go away. And I'm like, no, why would you do this? I also think his voice actor, forgot his name, I'll put it in the video, did such an amazing job with his voice because it totally fits him. The slow, drawn out speech, so good! I love it, and I wish Jeritza had more supports. Hopefully we'll get some in like the Abyss mode or a future update. If we don't, I understand because I don't think Jeritza is someone to open up to other characters. But God, I would just love to learn so much more about him. Anyways, my name is Emblem Thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the very first Fire Emblem Thoughts. I'm trying to take my channel in a different direction now, and I'm really enjoying Fire Emblem stuff, Fire Emblem content, so I want to make Fire Emblem content. I love Fire Emblem. And yeah. Anyways, my name is Emblem Thoughts. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.